Hola, bienvenidos a la clase de español. I am Profesora Rachel, and this is Vocabulario Extra. Hope you are doing well. So, to start, I did have a video that was going to be a review of the vocabulary we've done so far, but it hasn't been working with the screencast, so here's the link, and the link is also at the end of the presentation, so if you need a review of some of the vocabulary we've already gone over, you should already know it, but it's just a review, then I suggest you go to the link, and it's actually a fun little Spanish song. It's only about a minute long and should help. So, since you should already know some vocabulary, we're going to start with learning some new vocabulary about La Familia. I'm going to say the English translation, and then I'm going to say the Spanish word, and I would like you to repeat the Spanish word, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to repeat it because pronunciation is very important. So to start, we have female cousin, prima. Male cousin, primo. And we want to remember that if you can, I know it's hard, but if you can roll your R's, we're going to try to work on that, but I do not expect you to have perfect pronunciation just yet, but to say those again, prima and primo. So then we have brother-in-law, cuñado. And then we have sister-in-law, cuñada. And with this, we have this little Spanish accent over the N, which is called a tilde. And what that does to the N is give it kind of a Y sound. So it's cuñada and cuñado. I know it's kind of hard right now, but you will get it with practice. So just keep pronouncing it and trying your best, and you'll get it. Just to say them again, it's cuñado and cuñada. Then we have in-laws, familia política. And we have un acento, we have an accent over the I here, so that gives emphasis in that on that letter, which is what we've learned with accents. So it's familia política. Relatives, familiares. Grandma, abuelita. So far, what we've learned was abuela and abuelo, which meant grandmother and grandfather. But now we're learning grandma. So to change, usually, for abuela, you just have an A here, but now it's abuelita because we've added the ita on the end. So the same goes for grandfather. We have abuelo, and to make it grandpa, we have abuelito. And something else that I've done for you here is that I've put the words that are masculine in blue and the words that are feminine in green. In blue, azul, and in green, verde, just a little reminiscence of colors in Spanish. But it's important to pay attention to that because you know that if you were saying the female cousin or, you were saying the grandpa, you would have el abuelito or la prima because la is feminine and el is masculine, and these words obviously for a female cousin it's going to be feminine, male cousin is going to be masculine, so it's something very important to pay attention to and will help you much later on in Spanish if you get the masculine feminine stuff down now. Have that memorized. So moving on, we have grandson, nieto, granddaughter, nieta, nephew, sobrino, niece, sobrina, father-in-law, suegro, mother-in-law, suegra, son-in-law, yerno, and daughter-in-law, nuera. So then I'm just going to go one more time saying all of these just so you can get a little more practice at hearing them. Prima, primo, cuñado, cuñada, familia política, familiares, abuelita, abuelito, nieto, nieta, sobrino, sobrina, suegro, suegra, yerno, nuera. So this is your new vocabulary. So we're going to move on. So after the presentation, I would like you to play this game, El Juego. And with this game, it's going to give you a phrase or a sentence in Spanish describing someone. And then it is your responsibility to choose the correct answer. So in this ejemplo says, el papá de mi papá es mi, the father of my father is my, so your choices are hermano, brother, tío, uncle, and abuelo, grandfather. So obviously the correct answer, el papá de mi papá es mi abuelo. So, and this will be great practice for you to get the vocabulary down, the new vocabulary, and grow even stronger on the old vocabulary of La Familia. And you'll probably have about 5 or 10 minutes to be able to mess around with this game and play it and earn some points, which will be very helpful. So next I have some preguntas and questions for you, and if you could just get out a piece of paper, or if you'd rather type them, that's fine. And if you need more time, you may come back to these questions at the very end when the presentation is over to write these out. I'm going to ask the questions in Spanish to you so you can hear them, and then I'll give you a little bit of time to write out your answers. And I'm assuming that you'll have to come back afterwards. So the first question is, ¿Cuántos años tienes? And if you need the English translation for remembering, how old are you? I'll also be saying my responses to these questions just as an example after I go through them. Segunda pregunta. ¿Tienes hermanos? Do you have siblings? The third question. ¿Cómo se llama de un miembro de tu familia? So what is a name of one member of your family? So I'll give you a few seconds to try and finish these up. I know you'll have to come back after, which is fine. So now I'm going to answer the questions myself so you can see examples of how these questions should be answered. So, ¿cuántos años tienes? Yo tengo 18 años. I am 18 years old. ¿Tienes hermanos? Sí, yo tengo dos hermanos. Sí, I have two brothers. ¿Cómo se llama de un miembro de tu familia? What is the name of one member of my family? Mi mamá se llama Patricia. My mother's name is Patricia. So that was just an example of 3 questions, and I would like you to finish these up later so that we can move on. So now the whole class is going to be working on un árbol de la familia, a family tree, and this is the ejemplo that I gave for the whole class. But what's going to be cool about yours is that you're going to extend yours even farther. Because you've learned new vocabulary, I want you to go even farther and write more, put more family members in, and then you can also put more describing words. So see here, I just have abuelo George, but it can also be padre because he's the padre de mi mamá. And here I have myself, I have Rachel, but I could also write yo for me, and I could also write hija because I'm a daughter, could write hermana, I'm the sister of hermano Bryce, hermana William, they could be hijos. There's a lot you can do here, so I want you to go a bit farther and extend the vocabulary. And I also, what was I going to say? Yes, I want you to extend the vocabulary and write more. Right, I was going to say, you may use color, you can color and use paper, or you can use online resources that will be at your disposal. Like I did this on Galacster as an example. But there's a lot you can do here. So, and then the next thing I want you to do after you make this is you're going to write 3 sentences. They're pretty simple. So I want you to write an age sentence, relationship, and description sentence. And I'm going to describe exactly what those are and give some examples. So, ejemplos. So for an age sentence, la edad, that would be, I want you to pick one member of your family, look at your family tree, and this is after you finish your family tree. And I want you to tell me in a short sentence just how old one person is. So un ejemplo, mi abuelita tiene 65 años. My grandma is 75 years old. And then a relationship sentence, la relación. Pretty much with that, I just want you to pick 2 people, doesn't matter who, in your family tree, and then just tell me the relationship between them. Could be 2 or more people, it's not a big deal what you do. It's up to you. So I have 2 examples. Un ejemplo, Marvin as mi tío, and you can look at my family tree and see that Marvin is my uncle, which is one example. And then Bryce, William, y yo somos hermanos. So you can see that Bryce, William, and I are siblings. So that's a relationship sentence. Your third sentence I want you to write is a description sentence, la descripción, which is I pretty much just want you to pick one person and give me, in a short sentence, one physical aspect, emotional, personal. Just tell me one thing about them. So for ejemplo, I have mi mamá lleva anteojos, which means my mother wears glasses. So you can literally choose any person and put any description you'd like. So this is just an example of the 3 sentences I want you to write: la edad, la relación, y la descripción. So this is the end of our presentation. So just to go over everything that I would like you to do, you are going to start with playing el juego, just for some extra practice, and we'll see exactly how much time we have for you to play. And we can always come back to it later. And then I want you to finish up las preguntas, these 3 questions, and if you have any questions for me about how you want to write them, then that's fine. The other thing is that when you finish the 3 questions, I would like you to come show me your answers. It's not for a grade, but I just want to be able to check and help correct them, so you get the points for that. Not actual points, but for just getting them right. And then I want you to work on your Árbol de la Familia, and I want you to use any resource that you feel comfortable with. If you have something else you would like to use other than the ones provided, then you may ask me, and I'm sure it'll be fine, but just let me know. And then after you finish making this and extending it farther than what I have here, I want you to write 3 sentences, age, relationship, and description sentences. And if you have any questions, you can come to me and let me know. I hope that you ten un buen día, that you have a good day, and gracias para watching the presentation. And I hope that you learn vocabulary of de la familia. Gracias. Adiós.